Hello and welcome to Soul Love with Kimness. I am Kim van der Zande, your host, and I'm super excited to share another episode of Soul Love with you, where we share inspirational and empowering stories from the heart. We talk about the beauty and the shadows as both are part of the ascension journey, to remind you that you are powerful, you are magical, and to have trust in what you feel to be true deep within. Enjoy this next episode of Soul Love. Before we start the next Soul Love conversation, I want to invite you to check out my amazing book, Activating the Flower of Love, a sacred guide for manifesting your deepest desires and highest calling. This sacred book, filled with powerful tools and activations, will guide you to open your heart to the beauty and wisdom within you, empowering you to create the life you deeply desire from the foundation of love. You can find Activating the Flower of Love in all the major online and offline bookstores in ebook or paperback, or you can check it out through my website, kimness.nl, where you can also discover the different ways of working with me and the latest updates on new starting programs. Enjoy this next episode of Soul Love. Welcome to a new episode of Soul Love, and I'm super excited to share with you today the beautiful frequencies and vibrations of my soul sister, Sophia Kryst. Welcome in this sacred space.
Thank you for having me here today with you. I'm so excited and grateful.
Yes, me too. It's beautiful to share these teachings and these shares with all of you. And yeah, we already had a beautiful conversation prior of this, as we also go through our own journeys of embodiment, our own challenges and our own struggles. But yeah, I think it's beautiful how we both come into a place of even more centeredness, and so that we can share from this embodied state. And yeah, I don't know what has helped you the most, like the last few months in the transitions you were in. Maybe you want to share a little bit about what supported you.
The most important along this last year, it was about all the teachings, embodiments that I've been receiving while the last years. It was about embodying in the body, in the physical experience. Otherwise, you stay in the higher realities, in the higher realms, but your physical reality doesn't change. And it's important to dive into your body, all the frequencies, and then embrace the duality in order to become one into the totality of who you are. And if you want to stay in the higher vibration all the time, it's like you are trying to avoid the material world. You create more duality, and it doesn't work that way. So we are being called to ground the frequencies, to stay centered in the body, to embrace this duality that we've been trying to avoid, facing it, embracing, and then dive deep into it. And this is when we become embodied beings of consciousness. And this has been a beautiful teachings for the last year, even though it made me go deep into my shadow, deep into the densities of myself and all that I didn't want to see before. And now is the time to just accept it. It is part of God. It's this part of my higher self. It's part of me. And the only way that I can fully ascend is embracing who I am.
Yeah. Coming back to the wholeness. And but I noticed that within my own journey, but also see that with others. Like, we have received so many downloads and still are, but we are now really being asked to embody it and to feel it and to bring these teachings down into our physical body. And by that, feel, because that's also what I noticed the last couple of months. It's like we are being invited to not only understand it in the higher dimensions of us or our higher selves, we are being invited to understand it in our physical body and also infuse it in our 3D reality. And that's,
because, and I've been experiencing in my physical body these teachings. The more that I embrace, we always are talking about unconditional love. And it's easy when you just tap into the vibrations and you raise and you stay in these beautiful frequencies of unconditional love. But then it's about loving unconditionally the parts of the real life that triggers you, your family, your friends, something that triggers you. And this is when you apply these frequencies of unconditional love, is when everything changes. And this is what started to change in my vibration, that now I'm able to feel this deep love even when something triggers me. I'm able to see a new vibration. I'm able to see the gift in the situation. And instead of being triggered, I feel so much grateful. And this is the real shift. And this is what I learned the most this last year. And here is when embodied wisdom comes in, because then you are able to shift the perspective of the situation, and you are able to embrace it and find the gift and the blessing in this situation. This changes the whole game of being on Earth.
But as you share, the image I get is like when you start to learn a new language and you start to learn it through reading a book, your mind understands. But now we are going into the next phase of our embodiment journey, and we need to learn to speak the language. We need to learn to use it in everyday experiences. So indeed, unconditional love, like before, we would tap into the frequency and we would understand on the higher dimensional levels of who we are, what unconditional love is. And now we are being invited to practice it and to use it in every part of our lives when we get triggered, when we experience beautiful things, so that we can embrace the wholeness. But it's a whole new level. And I think also within the spiritual entrepreneurship, people will feel, if we talk about this embodied state, or if we talk about only the wisdom, knowing, it's a shift, I think, between knowing and really embodied sharing, through that we experience those things and we went through those things, and we can help others in sharing from a whole new level. It's but I think in general, also in the collective, that is a huge shift between only having knowledge or have really share from this experience knowing. That's a whole different energy. Yeah,
because everything, as we know, starts in the higher dimensions, in the energetic field. That's why we love to go there, because we are the architects. We create the structure before it comes in. But then when you embody it, is in your body alchemically, you are transforming your body. You are creating a new body while you embrace it and allow it to come down into the physical world, in the reality. And this is the important thing. So we are able to become a bridge in which we tap into these higher frequencies, but then we bring down these frequencies, we embody it through the experience, through the daily day practices, and then we literally change our biochemistries in the body. And then our body is ascending, is shifting into a new way of being. And we are creating this bridge into the old structure, the old earth, and this new earth that we are all transitioning, because it's something that is, this transition is not for a few of us, it's for the whole humanity.
it is.
So it's about creating this bridge in order to be able to transition into this new reality by embodying. It's bringing into the body and into our daily life all that we've been learning and experiencing, and then sharing and living, becoming the living example of all that we talk about. Otherwise, it's just words, empty words.
Yeah. And I think because when someone shares from this living embodiment, a whole different vibration comes with. It's almost like if someone shares from knowing, it's only sharing from this space. And when you share from embodied state, your whole body is vibrating and sharing these teachings. But what I also loved, as you shared, like in the architect, in the higher realms, when we create something, we can create from freedom, because there are no limitations and you don't have to think about anything. And then it's indeed the bridge, the transition into physical body that needs to shift, because suddenly we need to keep accountable that we have a body and that there are certain restrictions. So it's making the transformation. But it's, and I think we both experienced that the last couple of months, we have been transforming so much. We have been embodying our teachings even more through our challenges, but it also invites us to hold space, because we have the vision, and through the divine feminine, the vision is coming in. But sometimes, and I think also that's a beautiful share for every one of you, like you receive a download, you receive an inspiration, and that excites you so much, but then it's going through the transition that needs to happen. It's clearing the slower vibrations in your field that are currently preventing that download from coming into reality. Maybe cry, scream, whatever comes up, like allowing that energy to move, to then come into this embodied creation, to come into physical form. But in the meanwhile, it's holding space. And I think you as well, and me as well, we hold space for this higher vision to come down, and in its own divine time, things open up. The seeds have been planted, and now it's nourishing so that it can grow. But I think holding space is an important key.
Oh, this is crucial, this holding space, because until our whole vibration has raised into a frequency that everything happens in a moment, in an instant moment, there's time and space that needs to happen in order to the manifestation to become real. And this is a higher teaching when you stay in the place of uncertainty and you know it's going to happen anyway.
Yes.
So you stay present in a moment that nothing is happening, and yet you see it. You know that something huge is about to happen, and you just hold the space, hold the vibration, and allow it, no matter what is happening in your reality. And this is a great lesson. I would say is the most profound lesson that I had to go through experience. It's okay. Yes. Everything is breaking. The old way of being is breaking. You know, this is the right thing to do. This is the right thing to happen. Yeah. You stay grateful, even though nothing is built. You stay compassionate about all that is breaking down. And then you allow this transition without trying to run away. This is the quickest way that everything will shift. Yeah. And this requires a deep faith, deep trust, deep knowing. So it means connecting to your higher self, knowing you are in divine time. It's like you plant the seeds, you water the seeds, and the seeds will grow at the right time, on spring, not on winter, because everything is seasonal, everything has cycles. Yes. And you need to wait for the right cycle that it will blossom. Yeah. And knowing that you are always held, and this is a major lesson when you are in this 3 world, that you are always held no matter what is happening in your reality.
Yes. Yeah, and I think that's a true mastery we are all being asked to go through, to not be afraid if an old cycle, like the cycle of death and rebirth, to let everything go away so that we can be in the flow of the now moment and let the new be birthed. But that it means being so confident and connected within ourselves that even if the world around us is crumbling down, the world we know. But in the end, it's also what I noticed within my own journey. So much is shifting the last few months, and I am also being asked to let go of a lot of things. But it is my mind that tries to keep on to these things, and the moment I let go, the new can arise, and the new, what I've noticed, is most of the time more beautiful than what I thought before. But it's just holding on to the known because it's safe. We are comfortable even within the discomfort of the known, and it's letting go of that and allowing really the new to be birthed. But that is true mastery if we can stay in that. But it's also it realizes, like I share also in my book a little bit about the moment we want to create something new. If we had no resistance, we would manifest it immediately. But if that doesn't happen, it means somewhere within our field, within our system, there is resistance. And for us, when we're holding space for that manifestation to come into reality, it means life gives us beautiful opportunities through triggers, through challenges, and that's what you shared so beautifully just now. If you can see your triggers and your challenges as a message from your subconscious field, sharing this is what you need to clear so that your manifestation can come into reality. It is a journey. It is you like going towards the manifestation of that goal, of what you desire, and then allowing life to show you. I always ask myself, show me, what can I clear? What can I heal? What can I embrace? What can I love so that I can step in this greater version of myself? And that's what we're doing. It's like what needs to come back into harmony of who we are so that we can indeed raise our vibration to become a match to that. So, yeah.
And one thing that is crucial for me is understanding that life happens to me.
Yes.
It's not, is a
It's not
gift.
against.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm not the victim of my reality, but I'm the receiver. I receive the gift, the miracle, even if it's a trigger, even if it's something that I don't really like it. It's happening for me to become a higher expression of myself. It is something that I chose to experience in order to master. And once I master it, I become a better version of myself, more of my divine self, more of my true self.
Yeah.
But I need it. I needed to go through this experience because this was limiting myself, my reality, and who I need to become.
Yes.
So this was the miracle for me. This trigger, this challenge, it was the opportunity, the gift for me to expand my vision, to expand my mind, to allow that what I was holding tight to let go. And
Yes.
sometimes it's something that you really is the most precious thing for you. And you know that this is the right thing to do.
Yeah.
Even sometimes you don't like it, but this is the right thing because this is what doesn't allow you to grow and to expand into who you need to become.
Yeah. And it's knowing within your heart that it's true. Yeah, it is. But I think that's truly empowerment. If we understand that life just gives us opportunities through whatever we experience to grow and expand, because in the end, our soul wants to grow. It is here to experience life, and through experience, grow and learn new things and raise our vibration. If we can see it like that. I also, like in my own life, it's constantly looking at what is life showing me and how can I create, or how can I grow and expand through these experiences, and how can I shift the energy so that I indeed become the version of me that I want to be. But that is really holding space for our highest potential to come in, holding space in the moments of challenge. And I think there our connection is such an important key, because when we are connected, we can stay centered, even though, because sometimes these challenges, when like we're now having this conversation and everything is fine and it's beautiful, but in the midst of a storm, it can look very real and it can look very challenging. And then it's important to have this strong anchor within yourself and to know, and also to have people around you that can remind you of, like, this is just life showing you an opportunity to break free from an old cycle. And we need these reminders in our lives. Also, if you're listening to this, if you go through a challenge, see the opportunity of growth, see the wisdom that is being shared through you to you, because in the end, and that's what I love what you shared as well, it's not, we are not the victim of our lives. Life and our higher self is constantly guiding us to move through these cycles, to move through the limiting beliefs, but we need to be willing to see it. We need to be willing to look beyond what we have created before, and that is scary. But it's also the most rewarding, because we can put band-aids on it, but in the end, it doesn't, like, it just comes back in a different form, in a different coat, or we need to go to the root cause and shift. Yeah.
And as you dive into this new perception of reality, something that I understood even deeper, the concept that I knew, but now in a more embodied state, is the importance of service. How can I serve the world? How can I help others? How can I contribute today? This is what really feels that you feel complete, nourished.
Yes.
This is when something matters. So if you need to go through a process in which you feel triggered or it's challenging for you, if it's only for you, sometimes you don't find the strength and the courage for doing it. But if you think that you are doing on behalf of someone, of a society, of your community, on behalf of your family, on behalf of something, a group of women, or I don't know, then the courage shows up in you, and you know you have to do it. Something greater than you is make you stand up and saying, this is the right thing to do right now, even if it feels pain, even it feels triggered because my slower vibrations are coming down, are emerging, sorry.
But it's having a greater purpose. It's connecting to the meaning of life. And also, as you shared, I saw the vision of it stepping out of the limitation of the self and then stepping into this greater responsibility of who we are. But in the end, it's about, like, also recognizing if we shift things in ourselves, we support the collective and we can help others in beautiful ways. So also taking good care of ourselves is serving, but it has so many levels, because we need to feel like we're contributing to something bigger than our own life. And that can already be like smiling to a stranger on the street, or cooking a beautiful meal, or inviting someone who's lonely to join you for something. Or it can be very small things, but then the feeling of feeling meaningful, purposeful, that is huge. Yes. And that is indeed, it can be an anchor that pushes us through the challenges, to know like, yeah, I'm doing this for my children, for my family, for the collective, for the people in my community, like, yeah, being of service to something bigger.
This is when you feel that you are in the right direction. This is when
Yes.
you are in the big purpose of your life, and you feel enlightened, and you
Yes.
feel excited, and you feel your life matters, because there's something even greater than you, and you're doing this for the greater collective of all. And this feels so good. This feels you are on track, you are on the right path.
Yeah.
And this is what matters. Then it lights you up.
Yes, it is. Yeah, but in the end, we're all here to help. We chose, as a soul in light, we chose to contribute in our own unique way to make this world a more beautiful space. So it reminds us of the higher vision we had before coming. So it's a beautiful thing to tap into that. Yeah, because also it doesn't serve the world if you stay in your sadness or stay in the limitations. It serves the world when you live this amazing life, when you are sometimes seen from the human perspective, are like selfish, and really stand in your light and go after what you want. Because when you are abundant, when you are joyful, when you are energized, healthy, whatever, you have so much more to give to the world.
Oh yeah.
And I think that's also a shift that needs to happen, instead of, to really stand in the greatness of who we are, because that helps us, that supports on so many levels that go beyond our human understanding. Yeah.
Yeah, this is another great shift that needs to happen in every human being at a certain point of their lives. And we as well, we have gone through this, is stepping into the power within you and become your highest version, and then show up into the world.
Yeah.
Because you only can help if you step in the best version of yourself. If you don't, you can help. You can't be an inspiration for others. You can be at service for others. You can't create a better world because you are hiding. And this is one of the processes that every soul needs to go through, to just accept the highest version, this light within, and allowing this light to shine. But it's beautiful, because once it starts to shine, you can help so much. You can touch so many hearts, so many lives, so many lives.
But it's from a new perspective, because as you shared, it's also, I suddenly see you can help from this, again, embodied state. Instead of helping from lack, from overgiving, overdoing, and by that depleting yourself. It starts like also in the airplane. First put on the oxygen mask on yourself, and then help others. It is the same with this, because when we support and when we are of service from this embodied state, magic starts to happen, because otherwise it's still from a lack, or we're doing it sometimes to complete ourselves instead of. And by that, still in energy, it's not really like, it supports, but there is like a cracking energy. Instead of when we are full of love and full of energy, we can give without needing something in return, or without,
Yeah, that's why it's important to start from the base. So sometimes as we started, we want to just go to the high vibrational states, and we forget the reality that we are living in. And it's about remembering the miracle is created inside of us. We shift our state, we shift our vibration, and everything shifts. So we create the energy within, we create the love within, and then we receive love. But first we created the love within, we created happiness from within by choice, which is the most powerful gift that we have. Choose to raise our vibration just by choice, and everything changes. And this is the miracle of life. The miracle starts within you, and this is an incredible teaching while you go through. At the beginning, you are at that state of victimhood, and everything happens to me. No, everything happens for you. And then you start to understand that you have the power to change your vibration. You have the power to raise your frequency. You have the power to become your higher self. And then everything changes in your life.
Yeah.
And you create a shift that touches everything.
Yeah. But it's also when we are in service from this embodied state, we are in service from experience, but also from a place of wholeness and connectedness. And when we are in service from the old paradigm of the mind, we are in service from lack. And in the end, when people are in service from lack, they want something in return. So also, I think within the spiritual business, it's asking people to tune in with their hearts, to really feel like, is someone sharing from this embodied state, or is it being shared from a lack mindset? Because then it means like there needs to be something in return, instead of really truly being in this love space from overflow, and people can just abundantly receive. And there's a whole other energy in that. And yeah,
because when you start creating a business, what can I get from others? This is a lack of consciousness. When you create your business saying, how can I give to the world? And every day, the only thing that cares is about how can I give to the world? Your mindset is abundance.
Yeah.
Everything is within you. You want to give to the world. And then everything that you give, it comes back multiplied. But this is the mindset. How can I get from others? It makes you create more lack and more lack and more lack. And every day you receive more lack.
That is, yeah.
But also on this, But
also for people joining within those programs, you will feel it, because it in a way it will deplete your energy. It will contract you instead of that you feel energized afterwards. And I think that's also, but it starts within, because also for us as spiritual entrepreneurs, we first need to take care of ourselves. We need to make sure that we're healthy and that we're energized and that we're loved and that we are centered within ourselves. It doesn't mean that we don't get challenged, of course, but it means like we are in this centered, loving space. And from that, we can help others. But it starts, I think it starts from a whole different foundation. And I think also in the collective, you're seeing the shift, where before it was okay to just share from the received downloads, but not the embodied state. And it was okay to share from somehow a lack mindset, or I need something, or I need to feel complete. So that's why I'm helping you. So it's like also for the bend. And now it's like, no, we're shifting towards this place where we have gone through the things and are still going, also sharing. And that's what I love about the Soul Love podcast as well. The sharing, like also we as spiritual entrepreneurs, we're also just human going through our own challenges because we set a higher goal. And that means we need to stretch ourselves beyond our current limitations. But that's the embodied state. It's part of, and that's also the message I want to give to everyone. It's like, if you get challenged, it doesn't mean you're taking a step back. It means you're trying to grow, you're trying to expand. And that is why life is giving you the opportunity to clear that so that you can grow and expand even more. And I think that's a beautiful shift to share in this last thing. I don't know if you have a beautiful, before we close this beautiful podcast, if you want to share.
This, it's about setting this dream of the expansion you want to be in, and then just stretching yourself to become that. And as you do so and you embody, because you go through the challenges, you know the answers, you know how to get there, then you have the tools, the frequency, the vibration, the wisdom to share to others and say, to get there, all that you need is all this state of mind, this frequency, and you carry the frequency with you so you can help others because you are the embodiment of getting there. And this is always, it's important, always keep learning, keep evolving, because if you never have gone into a state, a bigger state, you don't know how to get there. But someone that have gone there before you can give you the tools, can give you the vision, can give you everything that you need to get there. So it's important to remember that we never can stop evolving and learning from others, because it's the only way that we can go beyond where we have gone ever before.
It is, yeah. And it's stepping into the templates that have gone and the pioneering work we're all doing, because we're creating together a beautiful new earth. And that is, yeah, doing something new than we have done before. So I don't know if there's one closing message you want to share with everyone tuning into this beautiful podcast.
I just want to share, just keep listening to your soul's call, because this is the right direction to go. No matter what's going on there, this is the right path. And at the end, the reward is always there, which is love.
Yes, I love that. And that's so important. It's holding the vision and then allowing it to come into fruition in its own divine time. So I thank you for sharing your magic and your wisdom. And I thank everyone for tuning in, because if you're tuning into this, it means you are on a journey of great growth and expansion. And we honor you for that, because by you becoming you, you're contributing not only to your own life, but also to those around you and the collective. So everyone, thank you for tuning in. Much love. And I'll see you in the next Soul Love podcast. Bye.
Thank you for having me here.
Really great. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for joining this episode of Soul Love. If you want to find out more about what we do, you can find it below. And I'll see you in the next episode. Much love.